Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Once again, I want to wish everybody a happy new year. It is Friday, it is wind down weekend, literally wind down weekend. Y'all, let's talk about this thing. Hello you guys, welcome back to the channel. It is January 8th, TGIF is Friday guys, and I want to come back today, brand new year, with some brand new content, brand new topics. This year I am dedicated to being more authentic on this channel, being more open on this channel, discussing some heavier topics on this channel. I also said on this channel that I may have a shift in subscribers because some things, you know, you talk about sometimes ruffle feathers, make people uncomfortable or make people think a little deeper, and sometimes people don't like that because everybody is entitled to their own beliefs and the way that they live and the things that they choose to follow. But for me this year, I'm going to be living unapologetically. So come on in and take a seat, grab you a glass of wine, a glass of juice, a soda, some coffee, whatever it is that floats your boat, whatever you do on Fridays. Come on in, let's have this conversation. I thought it was important to talk about because it's life. This is Lydia's Life TV. And on Lydia's Life TV, guess what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about life. You know, we're going to talk about Lydia's life, but we're going to talk about life. And I think it's important that we discuss current events, that we discuss the world and the things that are going on, because when we help each other, when we encourage each other and support one another and motivate one another, that helps us to get through these times. So in light of everything that's happening, let's just kind of get our feelings out. I want you guys to have dialogue with me in the comment section. Put your thoughts down. Let's be mindful of each other and be respectful. You know, you can be emotional, you know, about it. You can be passionate about it, but let's not be disrespectful about it. Well, we want to just talk about what's going on in the world. And on my platform here, I welcome everybody. It doesn't matter to me what walk of life you're in. It doesn't matter to me what color you are, your background. It doesn't matter. This is a channel for women. It's a channel to encourage, to motivate and inspire, and to share things to help us be empowered, to know that you can overcome obstacles, and to use your mind to think about the choices that you make in life, and that everything you do starts with a thought. So whether you're embarking on a journey to lose weight, to have better relationships, and to explore, adventure, get out and do things in life, it has to start here. So as a holistic motivational life coach, I believe in naturally doing things that will help us to get moving in that direction. I don't believe in medication and all of that. I think that if we take some time to work on self, starting with the way that we think, that improvement can happen. Definitely can happen. So with that being said, let's just talk about what we're feeling right now, because if we try to hold it in, if we try to pretend like the things that are happening around us is not happening, that only creates anxiety and stress in our lives. So some of you may have outlets where you can vent to people, where you can express yourself to, you know, your significant others or your spouses or friends, and some of us don't. So some of us, this platform or other platforms is where we're able to do it. I've actually been having a lot of dialogue with strangers on my Facebook page. Sometimes it get a little heated, you know, but I think it's a platform where we can be able to say what we think and to tell our thoughts about it and what we like to see happen. So I just want to say this, and this may be a lengthy video, so if you're not in a position where you can watch it in its entirety, you might want to come back, you know, or you might want to pause and do what you got to do and then come back. But I want you guys to just to watch it. You know, the things that's been happening today, this year, it's no surprise to me. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Let me take a sip. It was no surprise to me, guys. You know why? Because 2020 awakened us into some things in life that we needed. And before you get kind of crazy with that, I want you to think about that. It was so much going on in this world, so much hatred, so much destruction, insensitivity going on, selfishness going on in the world, and it was time for us to be awakened. But so a lot of things started erupting, and it started actually in January. I don't know if anybody remember, but I'm always going to remember this because I was having dinner for my birthday, and I was in one of my favorite restaurants, Firebirds, and it was a couple sitting at a table across from me and my friend, and they said, "Excuse me, are y'all sports fans?" We were like, "Yeah, you know," wondering why they asking us that. And they said, "Kobe Bryant just died." I looked at him and I said, "Excuse me?" He said, "Kobe," well, he didn't say he just died. He said, "Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash." And I looked at him, I said, "Don't tell me that." He said, "Yeah, it's all over the news." So I immediately grabbed my phone and I started searching for it, and it just started popping up everywhere, news streams everywhere. And I was like, oh my gosh. That was just like a traumatic thing. And then I'm celebrating my birthday, first of all, so it just put a cloud over the whole day. And then, of course, we started, you know, reading it and finding out that other people had died and his daughter, and it was just a mess. And from that day, things went like this completely. I don't know why, but that's how it happened. And I remember also being sick in that month. So that year started out just on a roller coaster, and we have been on that roller coaster, and it was, and as I said in my last video, we survived that year. But just because we got through 2020 did not mean that 2021 was just going to just be like, hey, let's do this, let's just live, let's have fun. Things weren't going to happen. Life was just going to go back to normal, or to what we called normal. I knew it wasn't. I said to myself, this is only the beginning, that this year was going to present some things to us that we were going to have to be able to work our way and live through. And 2020 prepared us for that. It prepared us to know that anything and everything can happen. And I just want you all to be aware of that, and to be vigilant in all of your moving, your maneuvering around, and the things that you're doing and the things that you're planning, because life is different from what we knew 2 years ago. It's actually different. And I will say, I would even bet that it's going to be a while before anything will feel close to what we perceived as being normal, or, you know, regular, or getting back to, or however we worded whatever we thought was a okay life or a good life. It's gonna be a minute. It's gonna be a minute. The band-aid has been torn off. Yeah, it has been. So the events that happened over the last few days, it sat me down. It sat me down. I sat and I watched them unfold, because when I first started watching them, I did not know that it was going to escalate that far. I thought it was just going to be a little bit more of the, you know, maybe the wild arguing, the using a bad language toward each other, you know, the little ruffle, you know, that they have in the crowd. I never knew or never thought that it would go to that level of infiltrating a federal building, to destruction, to people dying. I never knew that. And the leader of this country being at the forefront of why that stopped, why that started, and what that means to us. What that means to us. So we're just at the beginning of what is about to transpire with that particular individual. I won't use his name on my platform. So we got to be prepared for all of the things that's going to be unfolding in the next few days and weeks on past the inauguration, and be prepared for maybe some events happening around that day. And just be mindful of that. I had to call my daughter, because my daughter actually lives in DC, my oldest daughter, and she works 3 blocks away from the Capitol building. And she told me that her boss had told them not to come in. They actually left the day before. Everybody had to be out of the downtown, the area, that business district, by 6 p.m. because of the movement that was happening with the Proud Boys, or whoever they call themselves. And they wanted people to be able to, you know, go home and be safe. So she had already left the area, so I was thankful for that. And I do have concern for her being in that area with all of that happening. But guys, we're trying to live our best lives. We're trying to function and have a good life. But it's hard to do that and ignore the things that are going on around us, because whether we acknowledge them or not, it affects our lives. It affects our lives. It affects the people that are in our lives. Think about your children or your grandchildren or those that are coming up behind us. It is going to be an effect on how they're going to live and the things that they're going to be privy to be able to do in life. Because if it was left up to some individuals, we wouldn't have some of the rights that we have right now. We'd still be living in the dark ages. So it is important that whether or not you feel like you want to be involved, it's important not to turn a blind eye to what's going on in the world, and that you always try to be on the side of right. For me, and I was saying this to a guy that was on my Facebook page, it's not about Democrats or Republicans for me. It's not about a political party. It's about what's right. It's about making choices that will benefit everybody. It's about making sure that everybody have fair treatment, you know, that can live in peace, and that they can be able to have the same opportunities as everyone here. That no one is more important than the other. So that's important for me to stress on this platform, where I know that I have not only African American followers, but I have European followers, you know, Caucasians, different people from different races. And I'm going to always be that person who show love to everybody. But it's important that no one feels that they're inferior to someone, that people are superior to them, because they're not. It doesn't matter what you own. It doesn't matter what you do for a living or how much money that you have in your account, in your bank accounts. No one is superior to anybody. And it's important to me that we all feel loved and respected in this society. And that's what I try to put out here on this platform. And so in showing love to myself, it's important that I show love to you as well, and respect you in whatever area of life you're in, whatever walk of life you're in. And it's important that we in this nation, in this country, get to a point where we realize that. Because the things that are happening here is happening for a reason, because really it's time for it to stop. It's actually time for it to stop. And I pray that it doesn't get to a level of destruction in this country, and that we don't be at war with one another. Some people say it's coming. I don't know. But I hope and pray that it doesn't. It's important that we do have a spiritual life and we have a prayer life, because prayer is important. I also believe that with prayer, you have to have actions. There are things that you need to do. Now, a lot of people are moving about and going places and leaving and running. But I am not a person who only thinks of myself. I got to think about all those people that I say I love. All those people in my life that are important. And it'd be easy for me to just say, I'm packing all my bags and I'm just going to run, you know, to another country. It could be really easy for me to do that at this particular time of my life, being that I'm no longer responsible for raising anybody. But I love people. And I want to make sure that they're good. And I want to be able to be around to see that. And if they need me, I want to be able, you know, to be there for them. So I can't just pack up all my bags and run. And even though I felt that way, I was just like, I'm out of here. I'm on my way to Africa. I felt that way. I really felt that way, guys. But I know it's important that The people that are responsible for me being here, my ancestors, from my grandmothers who are both deceased to my great-grandmothers and then my great-great-grandmothers and all of those who came up through slavery, they paid a cost for me to be able to be here on this soil. So it is important for me that I stand up for the rights that was afforded for me through them. And so with that being said, I am going to support what's right. Like I said, I'm not about Democratic or Republican. I'm about what is right, what is fair, what is equal to everybody. So I pray that all those responsible for all of the tragedies that happen are caught and they're prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Because they got to understand that it's not about just them. It's about a whole entire country. And that everybody's entitled to be able to live free. And that sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. You can't win everything. You know, it's important that people know that you can't always be the best at something. You know, it's so much competition going on these platforms between different content creators. And I ask myself, why? This platform is big enough for all of us. Yes, some of us are going to be bigger than others, but there's enough room for all of us because it's going to be somebody that's interested in something that you have to put out. You may not have 100,000 people following you. You may only have 100. But something you have, somebody else needs. So it's enough room for us all out here, and there's no reason for us to compete with one another. And that's what this world is about. We're always competing. We're always competing instead of saying, hey, I can share what I have, you can share what you have, and we can bring it all together and make this a great place. It's always got to be about selfishness and I can do it better than you, and, you know, or I want to be the only one in the spotlight. You know, that is one of the reasons. And people say, you know, Lydia, I've had people say you're always promoting sisters on your channel. You're always sharing their channels or telling people to go subscribe to different people, promoting their business. You know why I do that? Because I'm not a selfish person, and I believe in motivating, empowering, and uplifting my sister. And I believe in sharing, and I believe in helping a sister become all she can be. So it's important for me to share the things that I learn and things that I've seen, so that if that person has something they're trying to do with their lives, that maybe through my followers, it'll be a different audience than what they have. And guess what? They'll gain subscribers from that. And although, you know, some of my followers saying, well, you know, I never seen anybody doing the same for you. It's okay. I don't do it to see or to get that return, because my return is always going to be greater. Whenever you do anything selflessly, your return will always be greater than you trying to sit around and look for something in return. That's why it's important that if you do something for someone that can't do for themselves, do it in private. It's not important to show everybody what you're doing. You know how some people get on social media and the first thing you see them doing is, you know, when they helping somebody, they taking a selfie, when they're giving money, when they're feeding the poor or whatever. You know, why shame that person? Give it to them and go on about your way. So that is important for me on this platform, to be able to give to other sisters and help them. If their business, help that business to grow, you know. And so I don't look for things in return, you know. And it's unfortunate that in our country that it's not about that it's divided by color. And that if we people of color seem to be gaining a little bit more, it's too much. We can't have that. And someone will always try to stop it. So I think that's a reason why a lot of people make a decision that they want to leave, because they just tired of fighting the fight. But what happened a few days ago, a couple days ago, it's probably the worst thing I've seen in my lifetime. I can't think of anything else that compared to it other than 9/11. I remember watching 9/11, and thinking I was watching a movie, guys. I was like, that's when I was managing the hotel. And I remember, you know, my staff was like, Lydia, come here real quick. And so I came from my office and into the restaurant. And I remember watching the TV, and I saw a plane heading toward the building. I said, what, is it a movie? You know, I'm thinking, because when it hit the building, I'm thinking, this ain't real. They said, yes, this is in New York. And I just kind of got floored, and I kind of grabbed the table behind me, and I was just looking. And that is exactly what I felt when I watched them bust through the windows and rip through the Capitol building. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And it was such an embarrassment. And can you imagine what the countries around the world are saying right now? A lot of people respected this country, guys. And I'm afraid to say that we're probably at the bottom now. It's not respected anymore. People are not all desiring to run over here because there's nothing to really look forward to. You know, people, I can't stand up in all honesty and say that this is America the Great, because it doesn't feel great. And when I think about it, I can ask myself, when have I ever felt like it felt great? I'm honest. I just have to be honest. But I'm just asking all of us, you know, as sisters who come together on this platform or different platforms, is that we unite in unity and continue to support one another and uplift each other. And whenever you can lend a hand in any area to help somebody, it's important that you do it. Because one of the things I'm saying, I'm not afraid of death. You know, it's a lot of people afraid of dying. But when your heart is pure and you know that you're living your life to be able to help someone else, and it's not all about you, I can say that if I leave here, I can leave here in peace. So going out, I'm going to do the same. You know, whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to go out giving. I'm going to go out sharing. I'm going to go out motivating, inspiring. That is one of the most beautiful services that you can have. Everybody has the ability to do that. You know, people often say, I don't know what my gift is, but everybody can have the gift of serving, the gift of giving or sharing. It's not hard to do that. It's just a thought. You make a decision in your mind that I'm going to do good, that I'm going to try to give back. It's important. It's important that we care about people that don't look like us. It's important that we care about people that don't have as much as us. And although I know a lot of you know this, it's important to me on my platform and what I do to be able to say that and to be able to share that with the people that I care for. I'm going to always do that. So let's be in prayer, guys, for this country. Because at this point, it's just, we're like in a dark tunnel. We can't see the light. We don't know what's going to happen. But I thank God for 2020 because it prepared me to know that I have to be on my toes, to know that my health needs to be good. Get your health right. Get your health right. Eat your superfoods. Take your vitamins. Do all of your safe practices for your hygiene to make sure you're protecting yourself from bacterials and viruses. Make sure you do that. Yeah. So that we can be ready for whatever. I hope that a lot of you are not afraid. But if you are, pray about it. Talk to somebody. And let's just get ourselves together and get prepared for 2021. Because we don't know where we're going. But I do know that it's going to be okay at some point. You know, when I think about my ancestors, and I'm going to close after this, and I think about all those who lives that fought for rights, and that was their destiny. Some of us may be the same. Our destiny may be to pave a way for others. And we have to be up for it. So think about that in your meditation. Hope you're meditating this year. Take some time out to meditate this year. Sit in some quiet, think, and read. Listen to some music. Calm your mind. Turn off the TV sometimes. and let's just focus. Get our minds together this year. That's what's gonna get us through. And being there for your brother and your sister when they need you. Yeah. So, Happy New Year once again. Thank you to all of the new subscribers. I see you guys coming in. I hope that you enjoy my channel. I do have a new channel trailer up. Trying to do some little creative stuff, just making it kind of cute and kind of fun. I enjoyed doing that video. So I hope you check it out if you have not. But I want to thank the new subscribers who have come through. I appreciate you for coming through Lydia's Life TV. Make sure you check out my other channel, which is Self Love TV. If you get a chance, make sure you subscribe there as well. We talk about loving self. That's what that whole channel is dedicated to. And talking about all of that goes into loving ourselves. And we're going to dig in on that channel this year as well. So thank you guys for tuning in this Friday night. I hope you guys are having a nice wind down weekend. We're supposed to get a little bit of snow, guys. I'm kind of excited. I wanted to. I hope it just snow everywhere. Maybe can sit some people down. But I want to thank you guys. Also to my old faithfuls, my OGs, my sisters, who could keep returning and returning and returning and returning. I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for some of the nice messages. I got some Christmas cards. I appreciate you all. Birthday month for this girl right here. Gonna be another nice age soon. Well, my birthday's at the end of the month, but Lord willing, I get a chance to see it. I'm excited about it. I'm gonna stay positive. Even though sometimes you're gonna have moments, go ahead on and feel what you feel. But get up. Don't lay in it too long. That's my motto this year. You know, because we're gonna have moments. Just don't stay there. All right, guys, so I thank you guys for watching tonight. Gonna kick back and chill out this evening and look for a video on Self Love TV sometime this weekend. Check out my podcast channel, You Go Girl, on the Castbox app. And I will see you guys in the next video. Remember always, peace and love, kisses and hugs. And I'll see you guys in the next video.